Welcome back to another episode of the ProSource podcast. In true summer fashion, we have to talk about outdoor spaces. Since 2020, trends in outdoor living have continued to skyrocket. And we have worked with our trade pros and homeowners to ensure they're not only getting the best bang for their buck inside the home, but also outside of the home in outdoor remodeling. So today we have two very special guests on. First, we are welcoming one of our designer trade pro members, Ivonne Valencia. She is the owner of Ivonne Valencia Design in the LA and Orange County area in California. Then I will be talking to Phil Graves. He's the director of sales for outdoor living for Daltile. So let's go ahead and dive in. Today we have Ivonne Valencia on. She is the owner of Ivonne Valencia Design, an interior design studio in California, and she provides organized design processes that create personally curated and functional rooms. Ivonne, you provide a ton of services. I was looking at your websites, your Instagram, everything looks great, by the way.
Well, thanks.
What would you say are the most common services that you provide week to week?
Week to week, we specialize in residential design, but we do small commercial spaces as well. And honestly, being here in Southern California, I get a lot of requests to kind of push those boundaries out to the outdoors. So I would say, we have specialties, but clients will request just about anything from us if they feel comfortable. And if we think that we can handle it, we'll take it on.
Perfect. And that's great because today's episode is all about the outdoor spaces of a home. So we're really excited to have you on and talk a little bit about outdoor spaces. I know the pandemic really changed how homeowners view their outdoor space.
Yeah.
Of course, people had, beautiful decking and everything before then. But with people being forced to stay home, it made them look at, okay, how can I make my home a little bit more interesting so I'm not going crazy? From your experience, how much has that changed since the pandemic started? How do you think it has affected the way that homeowners think about remodeling it?
Well, here in California and Southern California, outdoor living has always been a part of our life. And I know from having friends and family in other states where the weather's different, it also forced them to get creative with whatever outdoor space they had. But since most of our business is here in Southern California, I mean, we've always been a culture of pools and barbecues and being outside a lot. But I think in particular, the pandemic really forced people to create little personal sanctuaries and staycations, forced us to have a lot of staycations and really just turn our backyard spaces into personal resorts. So I see more people asking for more bells and whistles, more kitchens that rather than just a simple barbecue, or water features, covered areas, just anything that's an extension of their home. And I think that a lot of that does come back to the pandemic and forcing us to get creative with the spaces that we were in, with our families.
Absolutely. How do you tend to navigate the needs versus the wants of homeowners that are looking for the perfect outdoor space? What do you learn about the homeowners first that help you inform those needs and wants?
Gosh, well, I think as in any design project, we ask a lot of questions. We sit down with the homeowner first before we start any of the process. And questions like, do you have young kids? Are you empty nesters? How long are you going to live in that house? Because that's going to really determine how much you're going to want to spend as well. So, what are their hobbies? And most importantly, what is their budget? So just same questions that we would ask with any other space.
For sure.
We try to really get to know the homeowner and I think also what's important and why they're contacting a professional is to also make recommendations about things that maybe they didn't know they wanted, they didn't know they needed. So I think that's what we bring to the table as professionals as well.
Yeah, for sure. That's great. So While we're newer in the outdoor space, ProSource, we are expanding our product lines to offer more and more each year, especially
Hmm.
since 2020.
Yeah.
How have you seen ProSource help you in creating the perfect outdoor spaces for your clients?
Well, I joke around and I say I'm here a lot. I'm actually
Yeah.
here at our North Orange County store right now with our amazing rep, my account manager Pam and store manager Rachel. So I'm here a lot to begin with, and the reason why that's important is because I get to see when new products come in, new displays, events here at the store are a really good place and time to come and look around and also talk directly to the vendors sometimes and ask questions. I recently saw a display that they had brought out from a company called NatureCast, which is an outdoor cabinet, beautiful wood like barbecue cabinets, and I wouldn't have known about that brand at all if it wasn't here on the store, and they did this beautiful display. And it happened to coincide with a client that I was doing the inside of his home and we were moving to the outside. And before I knew it, he was asking me to design the outdoor space, and he wanted, this an amazing barbecue. And because I saw that nature cast, display here in the store, it really got my wheels turning. And I started asking about the product. Tell me a little bit more about this product. And then they had an event here, and I was able to talk to the vendor directly and say, well, I have this project, and this product might be a fit. So definitely asking your account manager constantly for help and
Mhm.
advice, and just getting as much information as you can about the products. They're just able to step in and help provide us with so many materials and items that we can use.
For sure. I feel like having that extra set of eyes out there looking at products helps because there's so much. It's
Yes.
probably very overwhelming to even think about how many is out there. But having extra sets of eyes that can recommend some products definitely
Oh,
helps.
yeah. And the product knowledge, because it's impossible as
Yeah.
designers to know every single product that's coming out,
Yeah.
and not only know that it's coming out and that it's popular, but what it's made of, what the warranty
Yeah.
is. And those are all things that you pick your account manager's brain. Honestly, I do. I know I do. I pick her brain and I try to get as much product knowledge as I can.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
So, when building or even rebuilding a deck, it's more complicated than many may realize.
it
Why do
is.
you think it's important to have an experienced trade pro who has built a deck before build the deck versus someone who has experience in other areas but hasn't necessarily built a deck?
Well, finding a contractor with deck experience is super important because knowing building codes, first of all, knowing the code.
Yeah.
And for example, here in California, we have a lot of seismic requirements, a lot of
Okay.
earthquake damage. So we've got, they've got to know what's gonna stand up to that.
Hmm.
Things like leveling it properly, railing height, things like that, that even as a designer, things we might not know. So
Yeah,
we rely definitely on our experienced contractors to do things
for
like that
sure.
right. Even if you're using a composite material, they all have different requirements for their
Mhm.
spacing. And if you just get somebody that doesn't have the experience, it might not. I mean, you're investing all this money. Decks are very, very pricey. And if they're
Mhm.
not done right, it's not a good investment.
Yeah, they could fall and could even create like a safety issue too.
Yeah, and even just not installing the subflooring properly is
Yeah,
not going to give you the life of this huge investment that you're making. So I
for
think
sure.
it's really important to get someone with experience and know their stuff in that department.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Year after year, outdoor kitchens continue to be the hot item on everyone's outdoor remodeling wish list. You just talked about cabinets, and
Yeah.
I think outdoor kitchens definitely is one that skyrocketed with COVID.
Yes.
Why do you
Yes.
think they continue to be so sought after? What are some aspects that homeowners should consider before choosing to have an outdoor kitchen put in their backyard or in their space?
Well, I think for the reason of wanting to have it, I think there's something about cooking outside,
Yeah.
when you feel like you're part of the action. Kids are in the pool, you're entertaining. So cooking outside is really almost like the American way of life. Like it's something that we do, that we enjoy doing. And so just like anything else, that area has grown so much with,
Hmm.
better technology and better products. So I think that, for example, some things that people don't consider, they don't think about, is the proper ventilation. Like you need to have, people forget if you're going to have a very enclosed space and you have a big outdoor kitchen, what is your ventilation like? If you have a lower ceiling, are you going to put in a hood? Some homeowners, I did a large California, what we call California rooms here in California, is big spaces without windows, but really as they're kind of extensions of the home. And it's like a big
Hmm.
outdoor living area. And we did a big kitchen. And I said to the client, well, what about ventilation? You're going to need a hood. And they said, oh, we don't really like the look of that. We're not going to do that. So what was interesting was trying to figure out where can we place this kitchen right next to
Yeah.
an opening, a big window without a window, that they can have proper ventilation. So also homeowners are looking for, like I said before, more bells and whistles. They're
Yeah.
looking for the fridge, the sink, the cooler
Hmm.
drawer. I have one client who said he wanted a beer dispenser in his outdoor kitchen.
That's
So it's
great.
getting,
Yeah.
yeah, it's getting very personalized, and homeowners and designers and professionals are getting more, I think, creative with the outdoor
Yeah,
kitchen spaces.
for
Yeah.
sure. That reminded me, I was scrolling on TikTok the other day and I saw somebody put like like a fountain soda dispenser in their
Oh
kitchen, like
yeah.
built in, for their Diet Coke.
Yeah.
And that just
Exactly.
reminded me of that. Yeah, it's definitely people are getting way more personalized with what they want to have
They
in their
are. They
kitchens.
are. And then vendors are getting really good at offering more things. Like I go
Yes.
back to that Nature Cast barbecue that we did, and there were all these different bells and whistles that you could put into
Yeah.
it. And, there's beautiful barbecues that are done in metal or done in, sometimes on the, with stucco on the spot. And there's just so many different things that you can put into it now. And with things like Pinterest, right?
Yeah.
Clients are realizing that, oh, I saw this great item. I want to put this in. I want to incorporate this too.
Yeah.
So there's just so many ideas on the internet as well to
Oh
kind of get
yeah,
your juices flowing.
for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely.
Um, Water features like
Hmm.
pools, splash pads, outdoor showers, they're constantly being built to provide fun and relaxation to the space. What
Yeah.
challenges have you seen people run into when they're installing these type of water features in their backyard, and how have they might have overcome them?
Oh, I'm sure contractors have. Yeah, I'm not a contractor, but I work
Yeah.
with them, and I know that they've had. There's so many issues that can come up with that. We recently did a really beautiful outdoor shower that was like Bali style. The client said, "I want it
Um,
to feel like Bali back here," and it's this amazing backyard that we did with a tiki hut and grotto in the pool. Um, and one of the things is, first with the shower area, it was like it's an open tropical shower surrounded in bamboo, with stacked stone and like trickling water. It's beautiful. But originally the client said, oh, it's okay if we don't do running hot water. We'll just do cold water. And then after it was built, he pivoted and said, no, you know what? I do want hot water back here. So then it was kind of like, okay, I guess back to the drawing board, let's put in, what do? We put in a small water heater back here, like a separate
oh
little
my
system.
gosh.
So there's always things that you have to kind of pivot and be a problem solver. And water features are, it's no different.
Yeah.
The other thing aesthetically from a design standpoint is really making these water features feel organic, like not just like we just put this water feature here because they wanted a
Yeah.
fountain. Part of
Yeah.
it is always making it feel organic into the space, and how do these features build into the landscape and really feel like they're part of a cohesive design. So it starts with the planning and the design
Mhm.
of these features, and then the implementation, which has its
Yeah.
own challenges.
for sure.
Yeah.
What is trending in the outdoor space that we should keep an eye on?
Oh, you know what? Actually, here in California, again, I can speak from California, is that we
Yeah.
have a lot of ADUs being built,
Okay.
additional dwelling units. And
Okay.
I don't know if that's big in, other parts of the country, but here it's really, they're allowing people to add, extra little homes in their backyards, in their own backyards. And you can Airbnb them, you can rent them out separately. It's a big trend here. But um, what I see is people using these as like pool cabanas and making these amazing pool cabanas that are like little extensions of your home that are a separate unit that you can enjoy year round. Like I said, you can Airbnb them, you can enjoy them
Yeah.
during your pool season. So something like that, like really cool little pool cabanas are really hot right now.
That is
There's
cool.
amazing.
Yeah.
Again, you can go on Pinterest and check them out. People have them all over the country. So that
Yeah,
I've
for sure.
seen, that's really amazing.
That's awesome. Yeah, that would be definitely a nice feature to have in a
It
backyard.
really is. Yeah, and you can enjoy it, depending on what part of the
Hmm.
country you live in. You can use it as a guest home or, use it
Yeah,
year round. Yeah.
for sure. Budget is always at the top of the list of importance. How have you
Mhm.
seen trade pros navigate a client's budgetary issues when they're creating their perfect outdoor space? Do
I
you have any
think
like
clients,
examples or stories?
well, yes, I mean, I think clients are always surprised when it
Yeah,
comes to budget. I think especially outdoor spaces can get very, very pricey,
yeah,
and they're always surprised, at what it's going to cost. Um, the most important thing with budget is really to try to narrow down their wants versus their needs, right?
yeah,
Because clients will come to you with so many wants, but then their budget doesn't really match that.
yeah.
So I think really narrowing down, sitting down with them, and being realistic about their budget when it comes to the outside. Like for example, plants and trees are very expensive when they're mature. So maybe going with plants and trees that are not as mature can save some money
Mhm.
on the budget that you can allocate somewhere else. But definitely sitting down with them and discussing wants versus needs and designing. That's why working, I think, with a designer and other professionals is really important, and not just trying
Yeah,
to DIY it, because you have to plan out where everything's going and where the budget's going and where maybe you can make compromises,
hmm,
and use better material over here, but maybe we can come up with an alternative for this. But
yeah,
and yeah, I think that's almost every client, they
yeah,
start off here and then we go here, or they start off here and then we wind up here. So
yes.
yeah, it's definitely every client is different though.
Prioritizing the different wants and
Prioritizing
needs.
and
Yes.
really, yeah, and really being realistic again about your wants versus your
Yeah.
needs. You may not be able to put a Grecian temple in your backyard, you know,
We would
or
all
the
want
tiki
to.
hut,
Yeah,
or the tiki hut
exactly.
that we just had built in another client's
Oh,
backyard. So
wow.
yeah.
They just yeah, that's goals.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, this backyard is not a typical project. We did, I
Yes.
think, almost just about everything and anything, and the budget did go from low to high because they had like a slope in their backyard that we didn't really know what to do with, and we wound up like doing stairs into the slope and
Oh,
adding other little like terraces up there. So
yeah.
yeah, the projects sometimes grow like right in front of you because you start off with one thing and then it gets bigger. So
You're
it
like,
really
"How did this
depends.
happen?"
Yeah, how did this happen? But that's because the client had the budget for that, where other
Yeah,
clients come to you with these great ideas, but you need to make it happen within a realistic budget. And I think
yeah,
that's where we shine. I think that coming up with, having a great contractor or a designer that can help guide you to make things a reality without breaking the bank, or going to borrow more money or what, that's we
yeah.
pay for ourselves, I think. in that
For sure.
respect.
It's
Hmm.
definitely more realistic. People can relate more to those projects, I'm sure, when you're trying to maneuver around a budget to create
Yeah.
their space and still make it look great and work for
Yeah,
them.
and not make it uncomfortable for them, in
Exactly.
budgetary
Yes.
terms. Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. That's great. So, with this episode being about the perfect outdoor space, it's important to say that it might be different for everyone. It may require them to aim for good rather than perfect, kind of like what we just talked
Mhm.
about with
Mhm.
depending on their
Mhm.
budget, they might have to scale back what they initially wanted. Um,
Mhm.
what do you think makes, in your opinion, what do you think makes the outdoor space perfect for a particular homeowner, regardless of space or budget constraints?
I think we need to really ask them how they live in their space. What
Hmm.
is their work schedule like? What is their family like? Again, like I said at the beginning, asking a lot of questions and trying to figure out, do you really need that or this?
Hmm.
Or can we
Yeah.
recommend something that speaks more to them? And it might be a client that has a huge backyard, an acre backyard, or it might be a client that just has a tiny patio, and really making that space perfect for them and fitting as much as you possibly can into that space is
Yeah.
really what makes it perfect for them. Just every like I said, every client and every project is so different, and you have to try to meet their particular needs, and a lot of that is just really getting to know your client,
Yeah,
asking the
for
right
sure.
questions and coming up with solutions for them.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And we've talked about it a little bit already, but I mean, you're at a ProSource right now. You're at your
Yeah.
ProSource. How long have you been working with ProSource with your business?
I've been working with ProSource. I think I'm going on maybe 3 years.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool, cool. What are some of the benefits that you take advantage of the most being a member at ProSource?
Oh boy. They help me with my business in general. With I would say with everything. Like I said, I have a great account manager. Shout out
Yeah,
to Pam and Rachel,
yep,
the store manager here. But here in Southern California, or in the Los Angeles, Orange County area, it's very expansive. So one of the things that they help me with is I no longer have to run from showroom to showroom to showroom. And I
yeah,
think that that's one thing that a lot of contractors and designers would appreciate, is that when we're sourcing product for a project, you usually have to go to 4, 5, 6 different showrooms all over town. And,
yeah.
just to get from A to B, right, is an hour sometimes to different
Yeah, I was about to
showrooms.
say that LA
Yeah,
traffic,
it is. So the sourcing in one place, first of all, is has been a game changer, to be honest with
for
you. And
sure.
then also the product knowledge, like we mentioned before, like you hear
Yeah,
about a new product, but you don't have time to learn everything about that product. Well, your account manager has probably, if ProSource carries it, they've already gotten some information on it, or maybe they've used it on projects, or maybe they can point you to a better product. So I think it's they've become an extension of my business, honestly. You know,
that's
um,
awesome.
I love walking in for inspiration because, displays are changing.
Yeah,
So the inspiration, the product knowledge, and really just saving us time, saving us
yeah,
time in sourcing from a variety of different places. And like I said beforehand, I would have to go to one place for cabinets and one place for countertops and one place for this and one place for that, and the sourcing just became, so much time and energy. So it's kind of a one-stop shop for a lot of things.
yes,
So
that's the
time
goal.
and yeah, time and expertise and product knowledge, those are
That's
those are the
awesome.
tops. Yeah, so it's been
Awesome.
a game changer for me, honestly.
That's great. Yeah, time is
Yeah,
everything. If you can save some time, I know for me, sometimes I'm like, I don't have enough time in the day. So if you
definitely.
can save some, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
For
exactly.
for any new trade pros that are listening to this that maybe they just started working with ProSource or they're not working with us yet or
Hmm.
partnering with us yet, um, looking at specifically the outdoor space of our business, like I said, at the ProSource you're at right now, we definitely have an outdoor like a space. We
Display.
have an
Yeah.
outdoor display. Yeah, some of our showrooms don't, so that's like evolving as the needs are there. What would you say about the outdoor area of ProSource? What should trade pros know about it and ProSource?
I think what you need to know is that there's more available than you think. So whether you have a nice display, outdoor display like they do here in North Orange County, or you're somewhere in the country where your ProSource doesn't have a lot of things on display yet, just know that you can ask, that you can maybe source things somewhere else. You can source things online, or you can source things, through other means, or get ideas online and contact your account manager and ask them, because I actually do that a lot. There's not only with outdoor product, but with other products. I'll call my account rep and say, you know what? I need this for this product. Can you get it? And she'll say, I don't know. Let me check. We might. And a lot of the times they can get it. So even if you're used to sourcing outdoor products somewhere else, ask
Hmm.
your account manager and say, really use this product a lot. Can you guys get it? And
Yeah.
I would say a lot of the times they beat the pricing as well. So that's big for us. We haven't even really skimmed, we talked about the service and not having to run all over town for product, but also the
Hmm.
pricing. The pricing is really great for your clients. Your clients are going to save money and you're going to save time. So I would say, for new pros, even if you don't see it in the store, just ask, because they might be able to get it.
For sure. And that's, I would say, like a reason why some showrooms don't have as many outdoor displays up is because they don't think their trade pros are needing it. But if a trade pro calls their account manager, they're having a lot of that discussion.
Yeah.
That's when the showroom's like, okay, we need to really like get all on board with our outdoor living area.
Yeah.
And
And
so
that's
I
smart.
think,
That's smart, because
yeah,
so many times we start one project for a client that might be inside, and before you know it, they're asking us if we can do the outside.
yeah,
So,
that I feel like that
yeah,
happens a lot from what
it
just the
does.
trade pros I've talked to.
Yeah,
We
definitely.
had a project happen where we actually just did like a YouTube video, like a produced video over it. But one of the clients of our trade pro wanted to do their decking, and while they were fixing the decking, they noticed that the doors to the decking and then another set of doors at the house was they were just falling apart. So then they ended up adding that onto the project. So I feel
Oh
like
yeah,
it just is ever going sometimes. Like, oh
it
wait, we need to fix this
snowballs.
also. Yes,
It totally
exactly.
snowballs. Yeah. And before you know it, you're working on something, your scope. We joke around in
Yeah.
interior design and we call it scope creep. That before you know it, it's like, oh, this wasn't in the scope, but I have to go back and talk to the client about it because they need it. So
Yeah.
there's always scope creep. And I do think that sometimes, the backyard is really part of that, because you're working on a room that might be adjacent to it. And then all of a sudden they say, you know what? I
Mm-hmm.
realize we really want to redo our deck, or we want some water features, or even like an
Mm-hmm.
outdoor shower that I was telling you that we recently built in this Bali style backyard. And it was all an original design. It was like composite decking with pebbles and bamboo surround and stack stone shower area with a rain head, a rain, kind of waterfall rain head
Yeah.
shower. So it just really does snowball into, I have this idea and I have that idea. So yeah,
It's
it's
a good
it's
problem to
definitely,
have.
it is a good problem to have. You need to feel like you have resources for it.
Yes,
I think you shouldn't jump into anything unless you have resources for it. So, like,
for
again,
sure.
ProSource is a good resource, because you can always go back and say, "Can you get me this? Can you get me that?" It's a good resource.
Well, thank you so much, Yvonne, for hopping on
Oh, you're
today and
welcome. It
joining
was
us for the
fun.
episode. We really appreciate it. Make sure to, where can people find you? I saw your Instagram, but share where
Yeah.
people can find you if they're listening.
I have a House Pro account that's Ivonne Valencia Design, and also I do post a lot on Instagram almost daily, and it's Ivonne Valencia _design, or at Ivonne Valencia _design. And those are, I have a Facebook also account with Ivonne Valencia Design, but those are the main places to find me. And you can email me with any questions about, potential projects that you might have. We do offer e-design as well. So if you're in another part of the country, we've worked on projects virtually with clients in New York and Northern California. And we do a lot of, can do a lot for people just through internet, email and telephone calls and getting measurements and specs from clients. And we're able to plug it in and really provide them with a cohesive design with our e-design platform. So
That's
yeah, a
awesome.
few different ways of getting a hold of us.
Yes, perfect. Thank you so much again, and have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. This was fun. Bye.
We're going to go ahead and switch things over to Phil Graves. He is the Director of Sales and Outdoor Living for Daltile, which is perfect for this episode. This episode talking all about outdoor spaces. I know with COVID, I feel like that really jumped us into the outdoor living area of just like improving your home. I don't know about you, but I've only been with ProSource since October, but I've heard that when COVID happened, the spike in outdoor living necessity just like went up. Would you agree with that?
100%. It absolutely skyrocketed, and some of those, manufacturers of materials that have traditionally been used in outdoor living spaces, they found themselves 16, 20 weeks in back order. The demand was so high.
Oh, wow. That's crazy to know.
Mhm.
That's insane. And would you say that's probably still just riding along that line of popularity, or is it dipping a little bit, shooting
It's
upwards?
fallen off a bit where it's not so everybody's so frantic to try to get it done right away,
Yeah.
but that space is still very, very steady with work, and it certainly hasn't dipped back down to pre-COVID levels, which were already quite good.
Okay, perfect. Well, let's start with tiling for outdoors.
Yeah.
Um, Outdoor tiling inspires design directly into the space. How do you balance the demands of creative designs, how a tile looks, with the performance that you need from the product?
Yeah, that's a great question, Molly. And basically, we look at two main categories like safety and then selection. Right? What's the design of the space? So typically, we want to have frost-proof porcelain used or an appropriate natural stone. There should be the most commonly selected materials for outdoor flooring, anyway. And then from there, another safety aspect is the slip and skid resistance. So the industry wants to have a dynamic coefficient of friction over zero point 0.6. So you got to check with the manufacturer to make sure that that's going to be the case, or even especially an importer that's bringing it in from a country that maybe has a different slip and skid standard. But from there, you know, we're very well aware of the slip and skid requirements. And so we don't offer anything for outdoors that don't meet those requirements. And in that selection of that basket of products, we've got a huge variety of different sizes, different visuals, different colors. So really endless design capability. And then finally, something to consider, depending on how much sun your outdoor area is going to get, light colors tend to keep things a little cooler outside, a little cooler underfoot.
For sure. I didn't even think about that. Would you say that a lot of people are keeping their tiles under shade for the most part,
It
just so
it
they're
really
not
varies. Yeah, it really
depends.
varies on what's around the backyard, the
Okay.
orientation of the house, etc.
Okay, perfect. So you touched a little bit about performance. Speaking of which, what technological advancements has Daltile made year over year for outdoor tiling, and how has that informed your indoor collection as well?
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Well, I think honestly, one of the biggest, not necessarily an advancement, one of the biggest things we did in terms of technology is we're very careful about selecting our vendor partners. And so we know that the outdoor environment brings different performance challenges. So, for example, we work with MAPE and have created warranty systems for outdoor installations using established TCNA, Tile Council of North America, standards that already exist. So that really allows ProSource customers at that point to use their same labor on an indoor and use it on an outdoor install using established standards and really creating a competitive advantage for that installer and a more seamless experience for the homeowner. So that's been a big one for us in terms of installation partners, installation product partners. We also started manufacturing some of our 2cm porcelain pavers here in the States. And then our floor tiles that have a proprietary technology called Stepwise. That's a very nice technological advancement that allows you to take your floor tile outdoors and have slip and skid resistance. But this one in particular doesn't create a lot of additional maintenance in terms of trying to keep it clean. So those are some of the main advancements.
Yes, I just did a podcast episode with Corinthia
Oh,
Runge from Daltile,
yeah.
and we did one over bathrooms. And she talked about Stepwise in the bathroom and how popular that
Mm-hmm.
product is, and it's great that you can use it outdoors, also in your bathroom too. Two of the most like slip,
Mm-hmm.
the places you need to worry about slipping and falling
Yeah,
is
yeah,
is both
yeah.
of those places. Perfect.
Absolutely. No, it's a great technology and really a
Yeah.
broad variety of visuals available therein.
Okay, cool. So pavers have really taken off in recent years. How has Daltile led the pack in this trend in outdoor spaces?
Yeah, again, I go back to some of the installation systems, but really overall, right now, Daltile's exteriors program is really by far the most robust in the tile industry in terms of the products we have. The fact that we've got our own company manufactured pavers from our plants in both Italy and here in the U.S. We offer complete turnkey installation systems for the whole spectrum of installation options. And we've got absolute expertise both on staff and with our vendor partners that can help train ProSource contractors and customers that are looking to grow their business from the indoors to the outdoors, extend the business, and increase their profitability.
You talked a little bit about some of our trade pros, and the educational piece that Daltile offers is amazing. What feedback have you heard from homeowners and trade professionals that have helped shape the outdoor collection?
Yeah, I'd say, for one, the desire for lighter colors has been a big
Mhm.
ask. As we said earlier, it helps keep the flooring cooler. Indoor outdoor design coordination has been a big one too. Very, very hot right now. We can do that with Stepwise, our textured floor tiles, or you move up to our 2cm porcelain pavers. A lot of natural stones can accomplish this look as well, that blurring the line between indoors and out. Really hot in design right now. Um, we've got the ability to have concrete looks, wood looks, stone looks, variety of different sizes, the ability to create patterns, right? The coordination with vertical elements has also been a big ask from homeowners and contractors. We certainly have that in spades. And then finally, another thing I think that's really important is when you're outside, trim profiles like a pool coping or a finished front long edge on a stair
Mhm.
tread. So we've
Mhm.
got in stock profile options as well.
Okay, awesome. And I know we've talked a little bit about this already. Is there anything else that has made Daltile's outdoor tiling stand out near those water features like pools, splash pads, and outdoor showers?
Yeah, sure, Molly. Just have everybody go take a look at our exteriors
Yeah.
website and see just what's on there because there is a lot. I mean, just a huge array
Yes.
of gorgeous products for all types of features, including water features. So we've got above and below the waterline tiles, right? Submerged tiles to do the entire tank of the pool if you want to. Um, We've got glass mosaics, glass panels, natural stones, glazed porcelain tile, and panels. Really, lots of different options for those outdoor environments, even in freeze thaw conditions, to create just stunning signature projects. Even larger panoramic porcelain tiles for longer water line, fewer
Oh, yeah.
fewer grout lines. A more cohesive look. And they can also be used to create water features, privacy walls.
Yep.
And again, like we partner with MAPE for bonding paving on the floor, we also partner with MAPE for specific water feature warranty systems, and that's really important because if it's going to be constantly wet, and you're not using the appropriate products for setting and grout material outside, you're going to get efflorescence running all over the place, and it's a real eyesore if you use the wrong materials.
Yeah. Even if you just want a window shop, that website, all of Daltile's imagery showcasing all the products is just like house goals. I'm like,
Yeah, a
one
lot of
day I want
inspiration on
to,
there. Right?
yes, yes. I'm
For
like,
me
one
too.
day maybe, yeah. It's like a dream outdoor living area.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so let's focus on outdoor kitchens now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, with COVID, we talked about a little bit. Everyone started wanting to build their outdoor space. With the
Mm-hmm.
trending nature of outdoor kitchens, how has Daltile shaped its outdoor collection for outdoor backsplashes?
Yeah, good question, Polly. And generally, we tend to lean into frost-proof products if we're going to take them outside, even though the kitchen might be, undercover and semi-protected. And in those types of products, we've got looks in thin brick, we've got 2x8 tiles, 3x9 tiles. We've got a new series called Remedy. It's a glazed porcelain. It's really, really a gorgeous product and has taken off in popularity, not only for outdoor backsplashes, but we can really wrap the entire kitchen cabinetry with a lot of different products too. But interestingly, that Remedy's also taken off as a waterline tile, which has sort of led to a trend where, rather than maybe your backsplash in your outdoor kitchen pulling from your indoor kitchen decor, you can actually tie it, for example, to the waterline tile of your pool. So you can come up with a little bit more fun, festive kind of looks for your outdoor spaces that generally tend to be a little bit less formal.
No, for sure. I've looked at your guys' products even in our St. Louis showroom, and the way that a backsplash can be also be used for a pool tile, or in the pool. There's just so many different ways you can use it, and so being able to repeat maybe the same tile for your
Mm-hmm.
kitchen backsplash also in the pool, that really like ties everything together.
Yeah, it really makes
So
a nice cohesive, environment for your outdoor enjoyment.
yes. So with these outdoor kitchens comes the need for outdoor countertops. How
Mm-hmm.
does Daltile outdoor countertops, how do they meet the temperature and durability needs of homeowners?
Yeah, great question, Molly. And often this is kind of an overlooked element when designing the backyard space because historically it's either been like a poured concrete countertop or
Yeah.
hopefully a really dense type of natural stone. And those are just sort of the old faithful go-tos for everybody. But we've
Mhm.
got products, and our favorite one for an outdoor countertop is panoramic porcelain. So it's porcelain, so it has all the same performance characteristics as the pavers that we've been talking about. It just has a stunning array of visuals available. They're very large slabs. You put a safety backer on the back, and it makes a perfect outdoor countertop. But I also have a little bit of a spoiler alert for you, Molly, and for everybody listening. We're about to
Sure.
launch large slabs, so countertop slabs of porcelain that are two
Wow.
centimeters thick, but the real magic is the veining goes all the way through. So if you do a cutout for, an undermount sink on the counter, that exposed edge that's been cut, the veins are going to still be there just like a natural stone. So that's instantly going to be the best countertop material on the market.
It's gonna look great too. I'm
Mm-hmm. We
envisioning
do
it now.
waterfall edges with it, to make a really
Oh,
kind of
nice.
more upscale outdoor environment.
Yes, for sure. Would you say just moving towards something like that away from what we used to see, just like concrete pouring for countertops, what has inspired that trend to really like move to the forefront in its design?
Yeah, I think just basically when people, again, COVID was kind of a big deal about this, but as people started moving outside, a couple of things happened. One, some of the more traditional materials were in short supply. So people went
Okay.
looking for other options. But then a lot of people that hadn't really considered outdoor living that much in the past, maybe aren't your most outdoor living kind of folks, but kind of got into
Mhm.
it. They don't have some of the same biases. So people really wanted to have very low maintenance, indoor quality aesthetic outdoor living spaces. And people just went looking, and we've got it.
Oh, for sure. That's great. How has Daltile helped make outdoor tiling achievable for any homeowner's budget? We see, we just kind of talked about it a little bit, but these like elegant outdoor spaces, sometimes when you see them, you're like, I don't know if I'll ever get to that point. Like, will I ever have enough money for something so elegant like that? But
Right, right.
are there products that, are a little bit more achievable that Daltile makes it really easy for any homeowner to kind of get a little taste of that kind of elegant outdoor space, but on a budget?
Yeah, absolutely, Molly. I mean, we've got products seated in sort of your traditional good, better, best kind of buckets. But at that good bucket, it's still already very, very good. So, for
Yeah.
example, if you're looking at your outdoor floor and you want to put some tile on it, we've talked earlier about textured porcelain floor tile. We've talked about stepwise. Those are both really, really nice offerings at the really competitive price point, sort of an entry level price point. And then from there you move up, into your really those are kind of good and better. So textured good, stepwise better. Then you get into your 2CMs and your natural stones as your best level. But in all honesty, those aren't necessarily that expensive either. Our made in the USA 2CM is very, very price competitive. And if you look at other materials that you would be comparing against, locally sourced natural stones, a lot of concrete pavers and things like that, the price point difference is almost non-existent in a lot of cases.
Okay, awesome. That's good to know. I'm keeping that in my mind for when
Yeah,
I'm putting
yeah.
together an outdoor space in my future. What product innovations from Daltile can take an outdoor remodel to the next level?
Yeah, okay. I mean, basically, just the offering in general is so broad
Mhm.
that you
Yeah.
can design just about anything that you want. So we've got a huge range of designs and sizes in just our 2CM pavers, for example. Really, one of the most extensive offerings in North America today. And then you take our stepwise tiles and all the different sizes and formats in those, and there's just a tremendous amount of looks that you can achieve. Here's kind of an interesting one. We've partnered with Oceanside Glass on a collection of glass mosaics that offers you the ability to go onto our website, customize the sheet however you want, make different colors in different percentages, for example. And it's got an extremely low minimum order quantity of just one carton, right?
Oh,
So
nice.
that's really a cool way to create a little customized extra pop and kind of glitz and glamour in your backyard at a really accessible price point. And then a lot of folks in your audience right now are already doing project work where they've got connectivity to other trades, right? Like plumbers and electricians. You need those outside too. So you can partner with a plumber and create, a relatively, affordable entry level feature like an outdoor shower, right? It's like the ultimate entry level pool if a pool's not in the budget. An outdoor
Mhm.
shower is excellent. Really, every home in America should have an outdoor shower, Molly, and a pet wash station right next to it.
Yes. That's a dream scenario. I'm
Yeah.
especially like the outdoor pet station. Not
Yeah,
having
for sure.
to throw my dog in the bathtub
Yep.
seems a little bit nicer outside.
And then try to keep him corralled in the bathroom until he's
Oh,
dry.
yes. We gotta make sure all the doors are closed. We
Right.
gotta, like, always look at him and tell him to stay.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, so what specific designs or sorry, what
Yeah.
specific products in the outdoor space for Daltile have you seen, like, sell the most in 2024 so far? Like, what has been number 1 top selling product or
Yeah,
some
yeah, yeah, yeah.
specific products?
Sure. The 2CM porcelain pavers are kind of the foundational product of our exteriors line. And so, as we said, generally lighter colors, but we recently came out with a series called Virtuo that has two colors and it's sort of a marble visual. That's taken off. That's taken off really fast, especially the lighter color. And then we also have one that's frankly a darker color, but it has a ton of variation. It's called Lanesboro, and it comes in two sizes, 12 by 24 and 24 by 24, but it replicates a full color range Pennsylvania bluestone look. So it's
Nice.
really gorgeous. Yeah, gorgeous product. And it allows you to say you live in Southern California, a truckload of Pennsylvania bluestone is going to be pretty pricey to get out there, but now you can have it at a lower price point in a more easy to install format. And then you get the long term lasting benefits of porcelain as a material too. So that one has really taken off quite a bit.
For sure. That's great. So, Daltile has been a fantastic partner for ProSource. We thoroughly enjoy working with you all. Can you elaborate on why Daltile continues to be one of our partners and sells products with us?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're at Daltile. We're very proud of our long legacy relationship with CCA Global and the ProSource team. And you all have always operated with a high level of professionalism. We certainly enjoy that aspect of the relationship. And then we believe that we offer a full complement of products and services that fit well with the ProSource model because we recognize the reach that ProSource has into the pro installer segment. And so we're honored
Mhm.
to be a trusted vendor partner to the ProSource team. We've been working together for a long time, for decades, and in fact, and we're certainly proud to continue that relationship, Molly. Thanks for having us.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. One last question. Looking into 2025, where are we heading in outdoor tiling? What are you What are you thinking that's going to happen?
Yeah, I
Any
think the sky's the
predictions?
limit. The
Yeah.
sky is the limit, Molly. It truly is. I mean, we're seeing, strong trends in the world of outdoor living, both residentially and commercially. Now, here's an
Hmm.
interesting one to me. I think we see that the TCNA is investing time and effort into establishing outdoor installation standards that'll
Hmm.
help more tile contractors move into the world of outdoor living, and we're participating in that effort as well. And honestly, for your customers, this is really a logical extension of their business and a great gateway to improving their own profitability. So our program
Hmm.
offers a collection of products and installation methods and contractor education, right? So that we're ready to support the ProSource team, expand into the great outdoors. And Molly, as we like to say all the time here at Daltile, especially the exteriors program, let's take it outside.
Yes, I love that. Yeah, we look forward to growing our outdoor living area in all of our showrooms as well. I
Yeah,
know
good.
it's an ongoing journey, I guess.
Hmm. Hmm.
Not every single one of our showrooms has an outdoor living area where they're offering outdoor living products. But I know just from hearing from our product and merchandising team that that's one of our goals is to extend that to all of our showrooms. So we look forward to
It's
growing that with you guys.
Yeah, oh, yeah, certainly we do too, and really, those that don't have that type of display in their showroom right now, just tell them that the spaces outdoors are bigger, the
Yes.
ASPs on the products tend to be higher, and you
Yep.
can do two jobs in one trip, right? You can do the
Yep.
inside and the outside at the same time, same
Yep.
labor.
We're definitely on the way there. So it'll be
Good,
interesting to see
yeah,
how it is at this time next year. I'm sure it's going to be doubling with the amount of like showrooms we have that offer it. So,
excellent. Looking forward to it.
well, thank you so much, Phil, for
Thanks for
being on
having
the
me.
the podcast today. We appreciate you. Have a great rest of your day.
All right, sure enjoyed it. Thank you, Molly, and thanks everybody on the ProSource team. Have a great weekend.
Thank you for joining us today on the ProSource podcast. Please like and subscribe to us wherever you get your podcast. Also, follow us on social media, check out our website at prosourcewholesale.com, and visit your local ProSource Wholesale showroom for all of your home remodeling needs.